The rearview mirror of life can feel like the house of mirrors at Ripley's Believe It or Not. However, just like the house of mirrors, instead of dwelling on our failures, we should laugh ourselves and know that what we see is not real. That funny look is temporary. Life itself is like that. No matter how good we are or how much we have accomplished, we can do better, accomplish more. Failures are part of the journey to greatness. Nothing could have brought this truth into sharper focus than the year 2020 we just went through. Every societal failure came into sharper focus. We learned in a big way that abnormality is the very definition of normal. Every plan must have a disaster recovery plan, and that includes our jobs, careers, and businesses. Solutions also depend on us, not others. We are far more likely to succeed if we focus on actions that are 100% within our control. We must also embrace technology just like we breathe air, because the COVID-19 virus cannot travel through the network. Technology also allows us to sell our goods and services at a global scale. As Toastmasters, we all know success also depends on our ability to engage with others, communicate, lead, and follow. Distinguished Toastmaster Oscar Zalamia told us to get high on weed because we all need THC. Twist, humor, and clarity. We cannot change the unique circumstances of our birth or the physical features we are born with. However, we can change our behavior, our actions, and our feelings. We can also develop our brains in multiple dimensions to generate multiple sources of income and work for multiple clients. Working for one employer is very risky. I realized this message must be shared with others. In no other year during my lifetime did more people need to hear about the power of self-determination, personal growth, and career success than in 2020. So I started a video podcast series titled Conversations with Dr. Cybersecurity, which became popular enough that people refer to it now as a show. They tell others to join as a guest or audience members. Several of you have already been guests on this show, and we have produced engaging and educational content which are now enjoyed worldwide. This series also inspired a woman in Kenya named Veronica Rose to start her own series, mimicking mine. I hosted several online events, started voice acting, and launched a new business producing audiobooks for other authors. I also learned that everything in life is interconnected, and we must recognize these interconnections. For example, our club implemented the District 18's theme and call to level up by creating our own Bring Inner Greatness Out membership development plan. During my very first invocation speech as president of our amazing club, I called upon all of you to bring out your inner greatness. I had no idea how this message would be received, but I saw it was received loud and clear. At the very next meeting, new member Rhonda Tony inspired me with her icebreaker speech by saying, "Greatness is a choice," a quotation from my speech. She believed greatness is achieved by embracing all of ourselves, our strengths, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities, and she proceeded to show us her greatness. I watched in awe as Jerry, Craig, Oscar, and Francis developed the club mentorship program, which was most timely for several new members such as Rhonda, Yara, Dawn, Irene, Angelina, Sharon, Aisha, and Gina, who diligently attended our mentoring and training sessions and started to blossom as leaders and show us their inner greatness. They even participated in contests and gave some memorable speeches. What I noted was that every one of them were bringing out the inner greatness that already existed in them. By the end of August 2020, I was so thrilled and inspired that I realized all of a sudden that bring inner greatness out should be the central theme and title of my personal branding book that I had been working on for 2 years. I also realized I need to bring all of the ideas into one place. The idea of embracing yourself, the idea of self-determination, the idea of continuous improvement, the idea of Toastmasters, the idea of relationships, the idea of shared success, and the idea of sharing your greatness with the world. Because one of the key things that I understood during this journey also is that other people's perception of your greatness is far more important than your greatness itself. If you remain inconspicuous and nobody knows about your greatness, then your greatness is wasted. And you will not produce any income through your greatness. However, as you share your greatness, people's perception of your value rises. And the higher the perception of value, the higher people are willing to pay for your services. The most important lesson I also learned is that value is actually a feeling. The better you feel about someone, the more you value this relationship. However, feelings in others can only be created through actions. Think about someone you love or someone who loves you. Even after 40 years of saying I love you, if I fail to say I love you for 1 week or even 1 day to my wife, this relationship becomes a little uncomfortable, a bit strained. And I may even have to explain what is wrong. Similarly, I realized personal branding is also nothing more than building and maintaining countless relationships with people and maintaining that feeling of value. And today you can do this at a massive scale on the global stage through the power of technology and social media. If you feel scared about your journey to greatness, my message is very simple. Don't ever be scared. Your greatness is already inside you. You were born unique. There is no one else like you in the entire world. How amazing is that? Why would you ever want to be someone else? Nobody expects perfection. You do not need to be perfect. However, you need to perfect your uniqueness. Your authentic self is what everyone wants. You need to dare to show your greatness to the world, and the world must accept you as you are. And this is what I learned this year. I want to allow a few minutes for questions, and everybody is welcome to unmute themselves and ask me any question. about what I just said.
Mansur, I just have to say, I love the last key point that you made, is to perfect your uniqueness. I think a lot of people don't focus on that. They focus on perfecting what other people think are perfect, or what you think other people see as being perfect, when you really should focus on yourself, and your own uniqueness and your own skill set. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think you were one of the initial people that started to do that with your own unique way of spelling Jen with the two N's and the two uppercase N's, and it was beautiful. Yes, absolutely. So thank you. Anyone else? We still have 2 minutes, I think. Rhonda, please go ahead.
Oh, that was like amazing. I have to tell you, I'm gonna listen to that again, because when you started talking about perception and that kind of thing, that was amazing. But I'm just wondering how you, like, as you get older, your technology skills tend to decrease, right? And so I think that presents a little bit of a problem. You know, there's ageism that's related with this whole perception, and then
So
technology. Would you talk about that?
absolutely. So I am over 60. I'm not going to reveal my real age, but hey, Oscar and I are not too far apart. I am continuously learning new things. Guess what I started this year? This audiobook thing that I was talking about? I'm learning sound editing at a completely different level, and I'm doing audiobooks now for others. I never really did voice acting before, but I'm doing it now. So this concept ages, the brain continues to develop. The key is don't focus on the age, focus on your brain. Your brain is continuously regenerating. This is the one organ of the body that never gets old.
Thank you, Mansour.
And I am now out of time. I really appreciate it. During the networking, we can talk some more. But I thank you very much for listening to my message and letting me complete this path.